Hey guys, what is going on? It is RC Knockout and I am back with another video. Now, if you are new to my channel, my name is Nolan. In today's video, I have got an upgrade for my Brushless Converted Losi 5T. For those of you who have been following this brushless conversion, I bought this cheap kit online. It has all the brackets to mount the ESC, the motor, and the battery. Now, the one thing I don't like about this kit is, number one, the battery doesn't have any... There's no way to keep the battery in place, and I have a very janky setup for keeping the batteries in place because I had to put nuts through this side right here because the threads in that little piece of metal stripped out. So unfortunately, my one battery doesn't fit there because it's supposed to be a two-spot tray right here. So one battery is supposed to go here, one here. Unfortunately, it doesn't work because of having to put the nuts on the backside. Battery won't fit there, so I have to stack them. But the issue is, even with stacking them and putting this extra couple straps around it lengthwise, it still has a way of coming out. So that was one of the biggest issues. The other big issue that I've noticed in the last couple runs is that this mount has a hard time keeping this motor in place. Even with using Loctite and getting it as tight as possible, this motor still has a way of shifting on big impacts. This one screw right here, there's two screws holding it, but the one on the swivel right here, that one has a very difficult time holding it, and it changes the gear mesh. So the motor either gets too close or too far away when on big impacts, and I just can't have that because that's going to be a constant. So that's why I decided to invest in another electric mounting kit, and I'll show you what I got real quick. So first off, before I show you what I got, I just want to specify that this is not a brand new kit. I actually got it used. If it was brand new, I don't think I would have spent the money on it because it costs more than I wanted to spend. So I bought this right here. Now this right here I got secondhand off of eBay. I got it for 125 bucks, which is relatively cheap compared to what this goes for new. This right here is the battery tray. This comes from the brand Top Tuning, and I know from looking them up online, this system sells for about, I think, 350 or 400 bucks new. And here's the motor mount right here. As you can see, motor is held in place, and then it even has an extra one right here that I think goes here or here to help cradle the motor. So that's why I was eager to get this one, because I'm hoping that especially with this type of mount, the motor is not going to move. And then on top of that, with these pieces right here that come up on the sides of this battery tray, that should hopefully keep the batteries in place. And I'm hoping, I haven't checked it yet, but I'm hoping both my batteries fit in this tray. Now, it did not include any battery straps, so I do have to figure that out. But aside from that, and it might be missing some pieces because it doesn't, I don't think it has the screws to go in the bottom. So I got to figure that out. So it's missing a few things, but still for 125 bucks, not a bad price. I think, like I said, if I had to buy it new, I don't think I would have spent that kind of money on it though. And there is no ESC mount. There might have been an ESC mount with the Top Tuning kit. I can't remember, but it doesn't come with that. But that's fine because I already have an ESC mount. Like, the ESC mount is probably the thing that works the best. That's probably the best part of this cheap kit that I got on eBay from Brazil, is this has worked very well. I like that it's placed up here, up above the center differential. So what we're going to end up doing is I might even chop this off right here with my Dremel, but in this place, this is where the new motor mount is going to go, and this is where the new battery tray is going to go. So I wanted to show you guys that. I might show you guys a little bit of the progress of installing it. This is the progress I've made. So I've been able to mount the motor up. I had to find my own supplied screws because most of the stuff wasn't here. So the thing I like about this is actually you can put 4 screws in here if you want to, but there's no point. So holds the motor in 2 places here, and then this cradle right here screws into the bottom. I had to find all these screws into the bottom, and then this one clamps it. The only thing I don't like is it's right up against the wires on that motor. Like right up. I even tried to very, very gently pry up on those tabs just so that wire's not cutting in, because I feel like the wire's almost cutting in to this mount right here, but I can't mount any further forward because that's where the holes are. So this can't slide any further forward unless I drill new holes, which I really don't want to drill new holes. But I definitely like this setup better. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to do what I originally wanted to do when I first started this project, and I'm going to throw an 18 tooth on. Because if you remember, I was having issues with this mount that I couldn't slide the motor close enough to the spur gear without the motor shaft touching the mount. So this one, we don't have that issue, and this one, I just need to figure out exactly how it's gonna go, but I haven't figured out the battery tray yet. I'm still trying to figure out the battery tray. The holes aren't perfectly cut, I can tell you that. Like, I can get the screw in this one from the bottom. I cannot get a screw in this one, so there's something going on there where they're not spaced perfectly. So I still gotta figure that out, but I will be back with another update once I make some more progress. Also, if you're liking this video so far, smash that like button. Also, subscribe and hit that bell. So as you can see, I got the motor fitted. I got the 18-tooth pinion on. I got the gear mesh set. It is pretty close right here to the rotor, but it's not going to touch the new mount. And this mount just is going to hold it so much better because it's holding in 4 spots underneath. Then I put 2 screws through the bottom and put some bolts, or sorry, some nuts on this side. So that's going to hold. I bent up on these tabs ever so slightly. I didn't want to break them. So it could clear this. I think that'll be all right now. So far, it looks really good. This should hold the motor in place so much better. I'm really looking forward to this. The motor really shouldn't shift. The whole mount would have to shift. I got it held underneath by, I put some washers up here. These are the main ones holding it. These ones are just holding kind of the back of the mount. I don't have these on, I have them on tight, but I don't have them as tight as this. These are the ones that are really holding the motor mount in place. So as you can see, the setup that I have, and I had to provide all those screws because none of those came with the kit. And I'm still going to have to figure out what to do with the battery tray. I'm still trying to figure out the clearances and if this is going to fit and if the holes are even going to line up on these blocks. Because that's the issue I'm having. You can see where I'm starting to gouge into it because both these holes aren't perfectly lined up, which is a bit of a problem. I might cut this off too. We'll see. I want to make it look clean though if I do. But in the meantime, just hang tight and I'll try to figure out what we can do with this, and hopefully we can get this battery tray mounted up. Also find some straps. I need to get some straps also. So I'll be back with you guys when I have another update. The cool thing about this battery tray is that it's adjustable, and I just checked to make sure both my 4 cells will fit in here. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and move this slider right here up 1. But then the question is, can I fit this in here without? That's why I think it's a good thing I'm using 18-tooth, because I'm not convinced that this would fit without. I still have to see, but I'm hoping we have enough clearance to run that 18-tooth and this pinion doesn't come in contact with the battery tray. I also got some straps I'm going to feed. I guess you feed them underneath. I am back for another update. I'm hopeful I can get this to work. That one right there is not completely lined up. So I just put a very short screw in there and hopefully it'll hold. And I put some battery straps on. These are some nice leather ones from Apex, or at least outside of them is leather. I used 2. I think I'm going to go lengthwise because from side to side, I shouldn't need them because these tabs right here that should hold the batteries in place. So I just need to figure out, I'm thinking the 18-tooth is going to clear. I just need to make sure that this all lines up underneath, which I have yet to check. So I'll be back with you guys when hopefully I have some good news that it actually fits. I am back and I got it all together. It definitely took some finesse and it took a lot of tweaking, but we were able to make it work. Got the gear mesh set good, running the 18-tooth now, which I didn't have any issues running the 22-tooth, and then for a very short time I was running a 23-tooth. But I just think it makes more sense to run a lower gearing. I did have a little bit issue with the battery tray because underneath, I'll show you, underneath, you might not be able to see, but this hole right here does not line up. So I was only able to get one of the screws in the block on this one. But the good thing is I was able to get both of them on the top side. So as long as this one holds and doesn't come out, that should hold that block in place where we don't have any issues with the battery tray moving. I was able to get both of them on this side. I had to supply my own screws. I already showed you the motor mount setup. But overall, it looks much cleaner. It looks much more well done now. Like the motor mount looks super awesome, super clean. That should hold the motor in way better. I might cut this off right here and try to clean this up. Maybe it doesn't really matter. That's kind of just cosmetic at this point. But yeah, I like the battery tray. I checked to make sure my batteries work in there. They're gonna work. Motor mount's probably the biggest benefit, but very close behind that, the battery tray. Having these little tabs on the side to hold the battery in place is a huge benefit over this one. Like if this one had that, that would be so much nicer for this one, but unfortunately it didn't. On top of that, motor mount's so much nicer because it has a much more secure way of holding the motor in place, unlike this. This is fine for most RCs, but once you get up to an RC as big as this one and as heavy as this one, when I was slamming on the ground on jumps, the motor was basically sliding down right here. So it just wasn't going to work. So I'm glad I got this. Stay tuned for the next video because we're going to test this thing out. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to smash that thumbs up button. Also subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when I do come out with the next video with this machine. But anyway, thanks for watching. Until next time, see you later.